This is Smithy.tv.
Hey, you're listening, watching, viewing 5 Questions with Jeremy Holland. We have a very special edition of 5 Questions. It's the Sushi edition with Jay Brazeau.
I'm the walrus.
He's the walrus. Future guests, don't expect this kind of lavish treatment. Our little sushi feast. We had a long day of shooting our press kit for Sex After Kids, which Jay Brazeau is in. Yeah. And so this is our way of eating a supper and hanging out. Mm-hmm. And making you guys awkward and uncomfortable while watching us eat.
That's right. There's 2 guys and some fish, right?
Yeah. Two large men eating some fish and having a conversation.
And when we're laying down, we're taller.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add. This is awkward. One of us is gonna have their mouth full the whole time. We'll make it work. So you've done everything. Right? And everyone.
I was born 100 years ago. I slept with Charlie Chaplin.
Did you? How was it?
Everybody.
I heard he's into anal. Where I went.
I don't know. He never talks. He just goes. He just points and goes, woo.
That's amazing.
No, Charlie Chaplin. Where is he now?
Where exactly?
Oh, good water. Toronto water is great.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's better than the Vancouver water you have to select.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what was your first big thing you did that you would call like your big break?
First big break I ever had. I don't think I've had a big break yet. Everybody doesn't know. Somebody came up to me in Winnipeg and said, "Didn't you used to be somebody?"
Somebody said that to you?
No, I said, yeah. I used to have nobody now, I'm just the guy, who's in the back, and the people know you've done, X-Files and stuff. Oh, a big break, yeah. I know what it was. I played Harlan in Stargate. And there's millions of people who used to watch Stargate and everything.
You do conventions? You have to go to
conventions? I did a couple conventions. Oh my God, I spent 5 hours just shunning stuff,
And how's that? Do you like doing those?
Oh, yes, when you get paid. Wonderful ways to work. You have to do anything. And in the beginning, when I did them, I thought it would just be like all these 16-year-old kids with pimples or something. But no, entire families, everything. And they know everything about you and everything about your character and everything. So it's really amazing, and they really got into it, So they're a lot of fun, actually. It's a great way to meet the public, and And some of them, it's really interesting. I'm just a Joe on the show or something, and you'll meet you, they'll shake hands, and then they get really frightened as if they're meeting something,
Yeah.
Other people, if you come into their TV set and they're, hey, how are they? Come on over there, they think they own you if you sort of come in their room, on the TV set. But they just it's really interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it's funny. I'd have. The fan mentality is interesting to me. Like when we were at Santa Barbara,
yeah.
I remember checking my Twitter feed while we were there and seeing someone write something akin to, "I just saw Jeremy Lalonde on the other side of the street, but I was too nervous to say hi." And it's like, what? Really? It's like I'm the guy that wears the hat. That's all I am. So and that
trademark. It's a trademark.
I'll take it.
Right.
But it kind of blew my mind that was even possible.
Well, sometimes I remember the first kind of big move. I did this movie, We're No Angels, and I remember once we went to the it was in Tribeca. That's where they had the premiere and everything. I remember showing up with my wife and the red carpet and everything. And we get out there and every pictures. I was taking pictures of my wife, and then they cut to me and they was like, no, he's not important enough. No, it was great.
You were in Lady MacGuffman. No, you Best in Show.
Best in Show, yeah, Best in Show, yeah. But you work with, I just love being able to do it, being a character actor, because you can just sort of get in the back and you can always, nobody's going through your garbage or anything. It's terrific, and you just do your job. And people walk up to you in the street and they say, "Hi, I like you. I liked you in that movie," and then they ask you some questions.
And you used to be somebody.
Used to be somebody, and he used to be somebody, and it's fun. It's great, to hide yourself still, and it's
Well, I can only imagine you get recognized. Do you find you get recognized? A lot of people can't quite place you. Or they think they know you as a friend.
Or something, that's the other way, or then you'll...
Haven't we met?
something, and we know what is something, I remember the guy at the video store was, he says, "Nobody ever told you look like the lawyer from the Double Jeopardy?" And I just had to play it. I get asked that all the time.
Especially by my agent.
My
Didn't you used to be in Double Jeopardy?
Somebody, my agent never recognizes me when I go in.
That's so fun. But you don't play. You don't bother saying that you are the guy from Double Jeopardy.
As I do, I say eventually we'll talk and everything. I think it's important. These people, they get to meet something that's up there on the so-called silver screen, and I always try to shake their hand and learn their name, and saying thanks for supporting the movie and going out to see it. And it's I think you got to do that. That's what's important.
They're people too. That's the other thing. It's just like,
oh yeah,
and you can learn interesting things from and having that conversation, because that's for me, and I'm sure it's for you too, is like a lot of the people we talk to are people that work in the industry.
Oh yeah.
The other actors, the performers.
Yeah.
So it's like to have a conversation with someone that doesn't do what we do is like that's how you keep fresh.
Yeah, and a lot of times they know you a lot. It's like I said with TV and everything. People watch a lot of TV. When I was in Cold Squad, they know what was going on and all. More about my character again than I ever knew.
Is that because you put no effort into
whatsoever into the production? No. And you do, it's TV's like that because it's in your room. You can turn it on and it's on all the time. They never turn it off. There's the guy from so and so. There's the guy from X-Files. There's so and so. The rule in the beginning when I was first starting my career, there's the fat guy. I've seen that fat guy before. I've seen all my parts were large, angry man at wedding, or funny large man on bus. I didn't even have a name. Funny, I got a name like Bruce McFelcher. Something like that.
That was your first name? Bruce
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Finally, I had a name, at least of a character. In this business, you want to get typecast, right? You want them to know who you are. So in the beginning, you get typecast in those things, and you want them to change them all around to know that you can do other stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. Poor women do that all the time. Having to just the kind of stuff they have to audition for. A sexy girl at topless girl at party.
I get that all the time, even though I don't act.
Bottomless guy at daycare all the time.
Bottomless guy at daycare? That's a trope. Someone meme that. Make that a. Did I say meme right? Is that right? I always get that wrong. I got it right. Good for me. And then I second guess myself.
Someone meme that.
Make it a meme. You should become a meme. Is it bottomless guy?
I don't even know what meme means. Meme.
It's like it's when something it goes viral. It's like it becomes a.
They say meme it?
It becomes a meme. It's like what's a good example, Ryan? You're hipper than I am when it comes to this shit.
Thanks. There's a picture of the kid like he's a baby doing yes, like he's got like a.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like the we had, I don't know if it hit a coast, but we had the IKEA monkey.
Oh, the IKEA monkey. Yes, I never understood that.
It was just some lady that had a pet monkey and they left it in her car. And someone saw it. Someone saw a pet monkey in the car, and they called the cops because it was animal cruelty, and the monkey got taken away. But the picture of the monkey in the middle of the parking lot, and it was wearing a winter coat, like a fur coat,
And a diaper.
and a diaper. And so this thing, this photo went on, and it spread around. And so I think, and then jokes were made. So it's
Poor monkey.
You basically add headlines to the picture. Like everyone has the same picture. They're all using the same context, but then they're all adding their own twist to it.
So that's kind of what a meme is.
What does anybody want a pet monkey? What do you do? It just really throw
Some
shit at you.
some people like to have shit thrown at them, Jay. Don't judge.
Here we go again with the shit thing. I tell you, we'll talk the Hitler stories later on.
Wow. That escalated quickly. So you do a lot of theater too.
I try to keep one foot in the theater all the time because I'm almost worried the movies will stop. And it's,
Well, you did. You did the big hairspray role.
Did
right?
the hairspray, which was great, and although I had to shave my chest and everything, and I didn't have to get a Brazilian. I'm sure they would have charged me by the hour or something. No, it was great playing. I loved wearing. I had these wonderful pantyhose. Out of some tent and awning place, they must have got them from, I don't know.
You used to pull them out every now and then.
Put them on, and it
on
was.
warm and
I
lonely
loved
nights.
wearing a dress. It was so breezy.
Yeah?
Those hot nights, you know, it was great.
I bet on the stage,
It
right?
was lovely. It was a continual draft up there all the time. I enjoyed that a lot, you know. And so I did that. I've been, you know, I said put the hairspray a couple of times, and you know, just trying to do different challenging things all the time. I guess, you know, as you get older, you know, you forget all the stuff. You know, you want to just try to just keep on challenging yourself. You know.
Hand reaching you.
Don't mind my clothes.
Oh no! What has happened to that?
This is part of the Sushi podcast. You can't really.
Camera's right here.
Part of the sushi, bro. We had some sushi pizza too, which is interesting.
Now you eat all that. I'm not going to touch it. I can't do the mayonnaise.
Doesn't like the mayonnaise.
I know, it's terrible.
You can't even have no fries with mayonnaise. Look at that.
No, I wouldn't do well
In France, it was in France the mayonnaise. Is that where they started with the mayonnaise? Yeah, but no ketchup.
I'd mix mustard with the mayo.
You mix mustard with the mayo.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was great with fries.
Don't get some sweet potato.
Look at
fries.
this. Look at the education you people are
The
listening
things
to.
we're learning, you know.
Things we learn on Sushi Podcast with Jeremy
I tell
Malone.
you, sushi. There's nothing. You know, my kids love sushi. I'm in Vancouver, you know, and
It's the best there.
they just love sushi. I never thought they'd like it. I mean, the first time I'm from Winnipeg, I didn't even know what sushi was. You know, I remember I had it for the first time, and I just fell in love with it. It's so colorful. You see that movie, the guy Sushi? What's up with the guy? He's got a small little.
Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was sexual, almost the way he would serve these sushi, and they were soaking wet and everything. And I was just, you know, I was soaking wet. I tell you, who cares about sex? I just wanted to get my hand on a tuna roll.
Jay Brazeau after Sushi. That's a movie.
That's
a sequel.
Sushi sequel.
That's me.
Yeah, same thing. Like I didn't know what sushi was until I was in my 20s. I moved to the city. I'm from a small town. My son, who was 4, wanted sushi for his birthday.
No.
So that shows the difference between growing up.
You said octopus. I mean, how many kids come home and say, "Dad, make me an octopus sandwich"? Nobody.
He didn't want an octopus sandwich. He wanted an octopus. Yeah, but I get
Octopi, you know.
Yeah, he wanted octopus sushi to be specific. So
No, that's great.
there you go. And I'll take it because my wife will eat sushi. So it's like
She's
I
eating
have-
sushi.
She's vegetarian and. So
Sushi can no fish at all.
yeah, she doesn't like fish.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't enjoy the taste of it. I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish
Yeah, that's good.
because I could kill a fish. I'm a pescatarian technically.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some people just don't like fish, but yeah, I tell you, sushi
I
is
I'll still kill a fish.
I'll kill a fish.
I'll kill a fish.
Except I don't like this with the little eggs. I've never had caviar, but it just doesn't look like the kind of thing that would be
I
fun.
won't not eat it. Like there's some eggs in this thing.
It's just like eating something from a 50s science fiction movie, those little red eggs or whatever they are. What is that called anyway? Roe.
It's the same as say caviar. It's the eggs.
Roe. Wasn't that a movie with Sally Field? No, that's another movie.
I missed that one.
So we are eating an incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah. You want to do some questions?
Oh, I would love to do some questions.
So you can't. You have to pick it up, but you have to hand it to me.
Okay, so I pick
And I will
it up.
stab you with it if you don't do it that way.
Okay.
Don't use the.
Don't use that stuff. It's not nice at all.
The questions go back in after.
Okay,
let's
that's
try to
right.
keep it
And the
hygienic.
questions will smell a lot.
I don't know where your chopsticks have been.
We talk about Hitler again? Okay.
Jesus. Dun, dun, dun.
There we go, and I'm handing it right to you.
You turned it towards you. You're kind of shooting a little bit.
I didn't see anything, because I'm blind.
You know what? This one doesn't really. Some of them don't quite apply. I'm gonna have to get you to pull another one.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you have to
Was
if you
that-
want to see it.
Was it about penises or
Yep.
something? Is something wrong with my penis?
So penis. I mean, I know you don't have that. You're one of the few Americans out there. All right. Did you have a childhood nickname?
Fat stinking pig.
Hell.
Yes, everybody had like Thunder or Joey or anything. Like, here comes fat stinking pig. Hey, you know,
Where does
yeah.
stinking come from?
Well, everybody. Well, have you ever smelled a fat pig? It stinks. I don't know. No, I did, but that was one that, and people will call
And that was the people that liked you.
I know. I was in a rough neighborhood, I tell you. Mostly people call me Brasshole because of Brazeau. And there was a product called Brasso at that time. Remember Brasso? You just rub it all. Hey, Brasso, how are you? Or Brazier, or everything. I never got like Rocky or something like that, you know.
You didn't have it like pal. It was all these really derogatory, terrible
names. Yeah, well, it was a rough part of town. It was rough. It was like in Winnipeg and Logan Avenue. You know,
This was in Winnipeg.
Yes, Winnipeg. No matter which way I come home at night, I could get beat up by various gangs. It was, but you know, I used afterwards I found that I had a few, used a sense of humor that, they'd keep you around before they hit you. They wouldn't hit you as hard because they liked the jokes, right? But no, it was rough. I mean, look at my face, for God's sake. It looked like Tommy, I looked like, what they used to call Subway, Tommy Hunter face? I can't. So I remember that, I've got that kind of look, kind of thing that Tommy, I worked with Tommy Lee Jones, kind of like, don't mess with me, I'll just kill your mother, that kind of thing, I worked with Tommy Lee Jones once, and it was
Double Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy.
That was interesting.
Back to the Double Jeopardy.
He's a mean guy.
Oh, really? In real life?
He's nice, but you don't mess with him. You just don't.
Is it the accent?
That was just Tommy Lee. You're just scared of him to begin with. He's a scary guy.
What's the worst he's gonna do?
He'll hit you. I'm sure he will. It was really interesting. He said, I think he told me.
Did he warn you this?
This was his place. When his new house he was in. He said, I'll drive through my gate of my house, and I drive for an hour and a half, and then I reach my house. That's how big a spread he has.
Or through your car.
Oh my gosh, But he's telling me, he's a wonderful actor. He really is. He's fantastic,
He drives for an hour and a half, and then he hits.
the front porch of his place, So
He just doesn't like the environment.
Maybe he's a bad driver. He just drives in circles. I don't know. He drinks a lot.
Slowly.
Very slowly,
Something
yeah.
slowly.
Enjoying the scenery a little bit too much. Jesus.
But I've been at Double Jeopardy was a movie we used to call The Future Chick. It was one of those movies that even the director, Bruce Beresford, thought, nobody would go see it. And then suddenly it clicked and people wanted to see like a Tommy Lee movie, the guys, and the woman wanted to see a...
Ashley Judd? I
Ashley
saw the
Judd.
movie in the theaters.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good. I was surprised. It did great. And I was very lucky because there was two of us. Bruce Greenwood was another actor, and it was Bruce Beresford who stuck up for us. Said, well, what are we doing in Canada? What are we here? We should be using these people. I think it was either Hal Holbrook and somebody else was going to play my part, and I think his part was one of the Baldwins. But he stuck it out for us. It was great, and he was a wonderful director too, Bruce Beresford. He's a terrific guy, Those Australians, I miss those Australian movies. Remember when Australian movies were just great? There were just all this Breaker Morant and the Picnic at Hanging Rock, and there was
I know that
all
one.
those wonderful films. And then, what do we have now from Australia? Not too much these days.
I can't say I'm super familiar with Australian cinema outside of Mad Max.
Not these days. There's not much at all, but they sort of really breaking through with the stories and stuff like that.
When I think Australia, I think of like Baz Luhrmann is like the name that comes to
Yeah,
mind.
you're right. He's a new guy. Although I got a gig because I saw My Brilliant Career. I don't know who the director was. I forget her name. I think she did the piano or something. But anyway, I went into the audition for Little Women. She was directing Little Women. And I did my audition, and I just wanted to say this, that I went to your film when I first arrived in Vancouver. I was with this woman. We came to see your movie, and My Brilliant Career. And after the end of the movie, my girlfriend turned to me and said that the best movie I've ever seen. And she left me the next day. And I said...
You've had a happy life.
I said, I gotta tell you that. I'm sorry, but but it was a good movie. I said, yeah, and I got the gig, so that was great.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to meet Winona Ryder. She's about this tall. She's.
You can put it in your pocket.
You can put it right in my pocket. Yeah.
I love her in there.
I said, I love wino tattoo.
All right, another question.
Here we go again.
Keep her coming.
Here we go. I'm gonna go in here now. Oh my gosh.
That was a tract over what I did there.
It was
Were you on me for that?
There.
Nice, thank you.
I get it. Here we go. It's good. It's like a fortune cookie kind of thing.
Yeah, I know, I've had that a couple of times. I'm going to look into the fortune cookie thing.
Mm.
How do you fall in love on camera?
How do you fall in love on camera?
Or in the
That's
theater, whatever.
interesting.
Like, as an actor, like, what do you do to have that process happen for you?
Well, sometimes it's hard. I had a situation where I was playing Cyrano and the Roxanne that I was with. The whole idea of Cyrano was that he was in love with this woman, Roxanne, and that's what the story's all about. And when she came in, there was no connection of us at all, and you have to sometimes make this stuff happen. My other problem is I'm always falling in love there. it's you just
Remember that?
like Mimi, like you fall in love with Mimi Kusick. You're doing the film, and it's not just because it's all sexual and stuff like that and everything. You just find somebody you really like, and a lot of times you get so close and everything in these kind of situations. You see it happens. Richard Burton and Liz Taylor all the time. But I'm sure it happens all the time. But then you go home to your wife, and then she says, no, so then you just get,
Can I bring
that's a little thing you want to phone,
So you went home after sex after kids and asked if you could bring
Oh,
home
that's
Mimi
it. She
Kusick
says,
home.
but my wife's really cool. She knows that. She says, she's not my type, but I love her. But she just says, you want some? Go get it. She's cool. I did come home one time with the Harlem Globetrotters there, but no.
She's adventurous.
She's gonna kill me.
That was for her more than you.
She's Macedonian. Macedonians. What you say about them? They're always conquering you. No. She's really cool about this. My gosh, after 30 years.
Well, you got. That's the one thing I don't understand about actors and relationships is just how you can you have those moments where you're in these scenes and it's because it's kind of like cheating.
Well,
kind of.
Yeah, well, when you do these, these guys do these naked scenes all the time, And what did Michael Caine say? He was really cool. He said he would always apologize to the woman he was working with, and he was new. They were both new to him. Please forgive me if please forgive me if that happens. And he says, and please forgive me if it doesn't happen. Right? Oh my gosh! And some women are really great at doing those naked scenes and stuff like that. Every time I've had to do a kind of naked thing, I always say, look, I don't want you to think I'm just pawing you or something. And usually they're pretty good. So listen, this is great up here. This is free for you up here. When it gets down there, that's mine. She's, and I go, thank you, please. It's good to know.
It's good to know boundaries, right?
Exactly, because you don't want them to say, I work with Jay Brazeau. He's pawing me all the time. My God. We had our clothes on,
But it's got to feel real. It's got to feel real for them too. And
it does, but it's a kind of different kind of thing. It's like, am I acting? Am I not acting? I mean, what do you do? I mean, it's.
Well, your animal instincts.
Yeah,
I assume.
Oh yeah, you try to do. You just want to make sure that it's safe for you, and that it's really important. The directors there too to make sure about that too, about what's going to be seen, what's not going to be seen, and everything. Just like all our minute scenes in your films. No, you just want to
You're going to see a lot of Jay Brazeau in Sex After Kids.
Imagine my ass in IMAX. Oh, I can't imagine that at all. Jeez. But it's a whole other thing, and there are people who can do it really well, and they have this great contract. They say only, a flash of the one nipple can be shown and all these other kind of stuff.
You have to write that out, like when you,
Yeah.
before you get to set the idea, you write it out that way.
That's right.
If you said, I'm willing to show my ass in the scene, or
I
will simulate, I'm forgetting the fancy word for going down on a girl.
The fancy word.
Cunnilingus. I will simulate cunnilingus.
Yes.
But then you sign that, you agree to it, and then the day you show up and you say, I don't want to do that, then I can, technically pull this piece of paper and say, well, you said you would, and now you have to. Which is a shitty thing to have to do.
Oh, no.
For someone to try to back out. And you have to pull out that piece of paper. I haven't had it happen, but...
Well, you do, and then lots of times the women are on the set and they say, we're going to do European version here, and they're very, and they just get coaxed into some of it. I think when we did, I heard the story of When Angels, Demi Moore had a kind of nude scene, and she wanted to do a nude scene. So they hired somebody who sort of looked like her, but it was big. It was you. It was you. Like you.
It was when she was pregnant.
But she was a bit larger than her, right?
Yeah.
And then she asked to see the stuff, right? So they showed her all the stuff, and she saw it, and she said, "No, I'll do it."
Nice. They did that on purpose.
Tricks. I know. I had to do a film. I had to do these sex scenes. Oh my God! It was an improvisational film. And you get there, and they're saying, "Where's the bag? The bag. I need a bag." Fathers and sons. So we forgot the little sack. There's this little sack thing that goes around you that holds your pee-pee and everything in there or something. So there's no touching. And I didn't. And I had Camille Sullivan was a wonderful actress, but she was down there and everything. And we got to film it, and she didn't care. I felt so bad, but we had would do this kind of scene. She would go down there and stuff, and that's where it's like playing. It's not the least bit sexual in a way,
Yeah.
It
Well,
never.
you got
I never
cameras,
been.
you got some boom guy.
Boom guys in, boom guys jerking off, and you're trying to do a scene. It's terrible. No, it's. But it really isn't sexual at all, And the neat thing about all these other films too these days is they're always trying to do the penultimate sex scene, how to film it, to make it work, I remember the sex scenes that I saw. I remember when I saw there was it was a Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie movie, Don't Look Back or something, that I thought was just, my God, it was just so hot and stuff like that, the old days, And I'm kind of like I saw North by Northwest the other night, and that is,
That's a great movie.
Hitchcock was a kinky guy, and the kind of stuff that would go on in there was pretty amazing, I like, that kind of stuff. You don't have to always have people running around like all the time,
Yeah.
Like in our film.
Like an Alright.
Oh, I gotta back in.
You have to be 5 of these bad boys.
It's 5 of these bad boys. Okay, here we
Jumping
go.
in. You gotta jump in here too,
I
'cause
gotta
otherwise
jump.
I'll
I gotta have
just
some sushi.
I'll be a
I know.
pig.
Be a pig.
I got a question. Okay.
Okay, we go.
I'll let you eat.
We'll
have a
Well, maybe
sushi.
you could do talk to us about something. Oh, I remember seeing your butt when we were doing the film. I remember because I showed my butt, you showed your butt.
I was Jay Brazeau's ass double in Sex
and
After Kids.
he's got a nicer ass than me, I tell you.
It's okay.
I saw it up close.
I got
It's
some
really
firm
good.
stuff.
You got a nice kind of curve at the top. It's kind of you could plug almost hold like a little pen in there or something.
It's very specific, Jack.
It's very well, it's good to have it. You get close on a film set.
It's true. And there's a photo that exists somewhere, and I hope it never surfaces. Now it will because of this. So thank you for that as well. Okay. What's the worst thing that's happened to you that's most inspired your work?
The worst thing.
Or that you've been able to use for your work, like something.
The worst thing that happened to me most inspired my work. I know. I was with this girl and I moved her to Vancouver, and I went back to Winnipeg. And when I went back about a couple months later, we were going to start this life in Vancouver. She'd fallen in love with the caretaker of the block. So I had no girl, no place to stay. Nothing, and I'm sure he spent like a day standing under an awning thinking, when's it going to stop raining? And I was just, it was the ultimate low. I had gone to Toronto to try to make it work, and people said, well, you're doing so well in Winnipeg, why don't you just stay in, at that time there was these kind of dentist films that were going on, and in order to get an audition, you had to have an agent, but in order to get an agent, you had to have work in films, so it was a kind of a strange thing. So I went out to try to Vancouver, and it was awful. It was, I got there, and then the agent I found, and her brother passed away, and all these, it was a series of things. It was just horrible, and I had to really, I'd gone away from Winnipeg to try to open myself up with other people and to try different things, and I walked into there's a place called, Theatre Sports. I think they have Theatre Sports here in Toronto, yeah. And I said, I just, need to do some stuff, and I got involved with them, and I found these people, and I really found a way of working because I never went to acting school or things like that. I just sort of learned by doing. And
on the field, as they say.
On the field. And it really made a difference to me to know that I could, improvisation is great. It's like when we were talking about doing comedy. You just don't say no,
You say yes. Yeah.
You say yes because
It's a good lesson for life.
Yeah, it'll take you to different places. All the time we almost say no, I was doing a show today, I'm doing this production, Cat came back in town, and there's always improvisational part at the end of the play where I'm talking to a woman, and she's nice with her little child, and I said, I said, and Jack, sing with this? No. What's your name? No. Your name is No. Yes. Yes. You want me to call you No? And she goes, yes. And I said, and so everything was no. And I wouldn't let go. And she said, well, you may not want to come up here and sing this, so we're going to come to you. So we all went down off the stage, all of us went right up to her.
This is a real person.
The real person. We sung the Cat came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got it, because, I thought it would have sort of been important her to come up on stage to see her grandma up there on stage with us, which a lot of people have been doing, and it's been great, So I just, I think those are the best kind of things, Brando talks about it and stuff, there's beautiful things that happen, We talk about that the night we filmed with Katie Boland in that particular scene, how everything was sort of just nice, the light was perfect, and everything was great.
3.5-page scene. We got an hour to shoot it because we were shooting during magic hour, and there was planes flying by every 5 to 7 minutes. But we got to do it, and it's easily one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
No, it's funny how those things turn out. They're magic gems of things,
Yeah, and it doesn't feel right. Like it didn't. It's funny. I was saying this today when we were doing our EPK stuff. That it's like, as rushed as it was making that movie, I never felt like the performances came off that way in the final. I mean, you haven't seen it yet.
No, yeah.
But in the final product, it doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like we were under the gun the way we were.
I think everybody, when I look back at it, I'm amazed that we shot all that stuff in 2 days, and I think people came to work, and I think that's the reason Sex After Kids is a really great movie, because people really enjoyed it was like meeting a bunch of friends, it was like spending a weekend, and having fun and just
going to camp. Yeah.
Exactly, Peter Kelly, it was just great, Peter. Just doing that scene walking down I forgot, he's such a wonderful actor,
We had the fucking guy honking the horn in the middle of the take.
Oh my God. Gordon Pittson, he's great. We did the Tempest together like over 100 years ago, and he's just a wonderful. He's some of the indie. Look at the Rowdy Man. Talk about indie movies. He was doing it down there in Newfoundland in the old days. He still is doing. He's still out there.
Yeah.
Because he knows what it is to have a place to go to someday, to go out and work. It isn't always about the money. It's about creating art, and if you can create with some really cool people, it's terrific.
Nice.
Now I can eat my sushi. Now you
have
have
your sushi.
Yeah.
And how about I pick a question out for you?
Okay, you pick
We
one.
allow that?
You
I've never
allow
done
it.
this before.
Uh-uh.
I do this only for you, Jay Brazeau.
Okay. Don't get me.
I apologize if this is a terrible one.
No, I already done it.
You know what? I gotta do it again. This is similar to one of those that are in there. Couple
Very
of
simple. We don't want the similar ones.
You know what the similar ones? We want variety, spice of life.
Variety, yes, right.
Not the spicy tuna, but the spice of life.
Mm-hmm.
What body part do you wash first?
What body part do I want?
Shower.
It depends on when I'm going to have sex. That would be my ears. No.
Is that where she holds on to? You gotta make sure she's got a...
Body part do I wash first? Wow. That's an interesting question,
It says a lot about a person.
Oh, yeah.
I never washed my ears, so there you go, there's that.
Ears, I always get worried about that, because people tend to look in there all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are people looking in your ears?
I don't know, because I got old man ears, right? Can you see my ears? Things are coming down here, and I got more hair in my ears than I got on my head these days, And, what body part do I wash? Probably I would say my armpits. I'm worried about that. Because they always used to there's this kind of thing with it. It's like when you go in an elevator and you smell fart, they all look at the fat guy. You know that, right?
I don't. No, I didn't know this.
They always look at the fat guy.
Well, it's always me.
And then you say, well,
and I claim my work.
Well, that's good. But then I always say it's not me, and then they think they know for sure it's you, right?
Because they think you're lying.
They think you're lying.
Because you have a dishonest face.
Fat guys always
lie, fart and lie.
Yeah, that's right.
Or farts and liars.
And they all leave, and then there's always some skinny little girl in the back who's just letting off those creepers.
And she looks at you like, "Fuck you, fat guy." It was me.
It was me. But
I've never noticed that. From now on, when I'm in an elevator and I smell gas,
that's right. Don't blame the fat guy. You people out there, it's not the fat guy. It's the little midget in the back. Always.
But the fat guy does have the body odor.
That's right. So I was always worried about that because I always thought about stinking, being a kind of stinky guy, So always,
So you're very conscious about the arm.
Well, just about the whole stuff, but the whole thing about, your whole life when you're overweight is people always use it, Or I had aunts who would come, "Oh, how are you doing, Jay? Oh, your face cleared up, stuff and everything. Oh," and they go, that stuff. And so you just were always aware of that. And when I never used to like myself, and that was a big problem with me. And that was a change in my life. When one day I woke up, I said, I just am never going to change a lot or be that kind of person that I think that people want me to be. So it's up to other people to change, and
Mm.
that made a difference, and it began to make a difference too in people cast you and things. They began to look at you different, not just as a how you
carry
look, but
yourself,
how
yeah.
you carry yourself, and there are other people. I mean, case in point. I mean, look at Jack Nicholson. He's goes back and forth all the time from being a character actor to a leading actor to this. He's an incredible actor. So hopefully I'll get some of those Jack parts.
It's a great answer to a body wash question.
It's a body. It started with a body wash. I know. I do. I should say, after I pee these days, I always make sure. Because there's all these different things.
You wash your hands.
I always shake.
Even
first.
if you pee on them
I
or
shake
not.
for. Well, I usually have to wash my hands because I'm pissing all over myself. Because when you get old like me, you can't trust where that thing is gonna go. It just got a mind of its own. You think it's great. You'll be there and you feel, oh, this is going great. And you look down at your jeans, you think, my God, I pissed myself. Where did that come from? It's like when you're really young, when you after you have sex in the morning, you wake up and it goes, doom, bang, bang, all over, Nothing goes like that anymore.
Yeah.
By the way, you're old.
Thanks for the preview.
It's like, it goes, down in the river, But, no, but that's what happens. That's what I do to, make sure,
The hands in there.
my hands are not too salty, yeah.
All right, let's keep it.
Speaking of salty.
All right, I'm gonna keep on picking your questions.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just having fun with my sushi pizza.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could voice over any cartoon, or you could be a certain character on a cartoon, what would you like to do?
What would I like to do with it?
If you could be
An existing cartoon?
sure,
Oh, boys.
or a type of character, or an animal.
I could
What
be
animal?
What animal would I like to be?
Yeah.
Jeez, an animal. I'd like to be the most boring guy in the world or something.
The most
I'd
boring
like
guy
to
in
have
the
a
world.
cartoon like just being the most boring guy in the world and just come on, go, hello, it's me, Nathan. Thanks for listening to me. I had an interesting day today. I bought some yogurt, and it was Greek yogurt, and it didn't taste like Greek to me at all. What do you think? I can do this with my finger. Something just like to be a boring guy.
You're gonna get so many calls after this podcast hits
Podcast.
to develop that show.
To develop the more boring guy.
The
in
most
world.
boring cartoon character ever.
People have people like that in their family, I have, an Uncle John like that who's just really all the time. Hi, Brian, how are you? How's everything? How's your mom? Good. I just nod. He was a cop. I was always afraid he was going to beat me up.
But that's a character you want to do. You want to be the most boring guy.
Boring
in the world.
guy, yeah. I did a kind of guy like that, a Norbert guy. I mean, he's just Norbert. I think, because I did some cartoons work on the Big Snet. You ever see the Big Snet? Or you've never seen the Big Snet?
Okay, man.
Go home tonight. Google NFB, the Big Snet, and
Oh, the
Google
NFB. Yeah.
getting started too.
Okay.
There was a boring guy, and that's the interesting thing about doing voices and stuff like that. Everybody, you look at somebody like Mel Blanc, the kind of stuff that he would do. I mean, he was just incredible.
It's crazy.
I mean, he
In
was
a good way,
exactly
yeah.
this guy. You got to be crazy. All this kind of.
Where's that come from? Yeah, you have to discover you can do that.
I mean, where the hell did Donald Duck come from? I mean, for God's sake, and Porky Pig and all that stuff. I can't do. Can you do a Donald Duck or anything? Can you? That's all I know.
Yeah, but to make it like words come out of that?
That's the prompt. I can just do them. That's about it. I can't get anything else out. I mean, my God. That would be the interesting kind of sexual scene, Donald Duck and what's or something. Now that would be a kind of show to watch. But
Donald Duck
yeah.
masturbating is what
Donald
that sound
Duck,
was.
yeah.
That's all, folks. Yeah. Speaking of which, last question. This has been amazing.
Last question. Here we go. Right here at the top of the bottom.
And you get to pick it. That's
right. And here we go. And the question is for you.
What classic film role would you not want to do?
What classic film role would I not want to do? Oh my God, a classic film role. Oh gosh. And what is a classic film role, you know? I know. Well, it's, you know, I know, I mean, there's Silence of the Lambs. What I not want to do. There was, yeah, because I've had children now. There was, and he was absolutely wonderful in Little Children. Would that be a classic film role? Who played the sort of pedophile or something like that in Little Children? James, wonderful actor. I don't know if I could go to that place now. You know, I remember when I first had the kids and the wife and I said, "Oh, we'll go to a movie tonight," and we went to see the Adam McGowan film. You know, with the bus.
Sweeter After, yeah.
Sweeter After, and I was.
It's amazing how differently it hits you.
It's a different thing. You can't see certain things. Your life changes when you have children. You can't do that. You can't do those things anymore.
The more for me, I was reading this comic book, and it was this guy going. I won't go into the details of the comic book. There's this villain going through and just like vaporizing this other person's family, and I just look at it going, "That's a child." And I mean, it was pretty harsh in the book, but also going, you in your mind, I'm like, that's, oh my, if that had happened to me. And it was the first time, were you looking at me?
Supreme Power?
No, it wasn't Supreme Power, it was, I'm not going to remember right now. We'll geek out later. I apologize if you're listening, you're not going to get it. I'll try to tweet it if I remember. But just thinking like, holy, like the first time I went, oh my God. Or in Sandman, and there's a thing in Sandman, like Neil Gaiman's famous comic series, where his sister is deaf. And there's this moment where she picks up this child, and it's a baby, and the baby looks at her and says, "Is this all I get?" And she says, "Yeah, sorry." And it's like, it just killed me.
I know.
And the mother's in the next room, and just, but 2 years earlier, I'm like, that's so badass. But now I'm just like,
oh yeah, you get a dead baby Joe. Everything was okay. But then you get to the point things change. I mean, I'm 59 now, and I probably cry more every day or laugh more than I ever did before in my life. But I think that's good, trying to get all that stuff out. But anything to do with kids, I mean, I think of that poor woman who was raped over there by those 6-7 people on the bus and the stories. I mean, it's just all like, maybe it's because anytime I see something like that, there's a picture of my sons now on there, right? That could be them, that could be somebody. And it just is a whole different thing, you know. It's like, what's funny, you know, I always say, you know, but comedy is interesting, you know. Comedy sometimes, it's a line, that's like lawyers. I think lawyers, they say, don't ask the question unless you know the answer. And I think that's it with comedy, some line too, you know. Unless you got to follow up, if you're gonna say go there to the dark side, like 9/11, you're go to 9/11 or something.
Don't go halfway.
Exactly. You know.
Take the risk or don't do it at all.
The aristocrats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good spot to end it. All right, so now how do I end the podcast? You have one of two options.
Yeah.
You can either display some kind of skill.
Oh yeah.
Or you have to arm wrestle me.
Oh geez, I could do both. I could.
Wow! At the same time?
Yeah.
That would be a first.
I can make a chicken out of a dish towel.
We have a dish towel. A
If you
napkin.
guys talk, I could look for one.
Oh sure.
Let's see.
You can make a chicken out of it, like the way like in China, like in the restaurants.
I can
where they
actually
fold it up?
make a chicken. I can make a chicken.
How is that? What? How do you obtain that skill?
Fred Penner. That's the kind of guy, you know.
He knows that kind of stuff.
He knows it. It'll get you maybe a free bird dinner.
So we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. Let's do the arm wrestle while we're waiting for Ryan.
Yeah, okay.
We'll just do it right here. We'll just move this.
Here we go.
And I'm scared of you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not that strong.
I don't know if Ryan's on one of us or two of us. So, however you're getting this view, you're getting it right now.
Now, honey, is the way to do this is with you.
And then we'll just count down.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this is good. This is even.
You left.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Either way, you missed. I don't know. Are you on the wide shot? Thank goodness, because we did the Jay Brazeau with me.
Now we should do it nude.
Now we do a new.
We won't think about the watch
No
the
napkins.
podcast.
So there's no napkins. So that didn't move arm wrestle. Jay, it was great having you on.
It's great.
Thanks for having sushi supper.
It was lovely, lovely time. The sushi's good.
And so thanks for joining us on 5 Questions. If you like the show, like us on Facebook. And if you want any questions you want me to add to the jar, just throw them on our Facebook page.